Ooh, what's up? What's up?
What's up?
What's up,
That
everybody?
little intro never gets old.
Oh, true, it doesn't. Thank you, Paul, who out there. I know he's out there doing his thing. Thank you for an amazing edit on that song for us. Um, but everybody, welcome episode 3 of season 2 of Ake Padre, a fatherhood podcast, video, YouTube, extravaganza about Latino fatherhood, fatherhood in general, mental health, relationships, and everything in between. Uh, I am one of your two hosts, Froy, and we got Chris. Welcome, senor.
So, what's up?
Welcome.
What's up? Buenas
How are
noches to
you?
everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. We're here. Um, Recovering from a few sleepless nights, but we're okay.
It happens, man. So you're saying, asking how you're doing. You're saying you all right?
I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci. No, I'm good.
Dope,
I'm good.
dope.
I'm good. I'm good.
That's good, man. That's good. Uh, we got an interesting topic for everybody today. One that can go a couple different ways, depending how you look at it. Uh, but I'm excited. I'm excited to go over it. But Chris, how about you? You lead us off and you kind of talk about it.
First of all, excuse the dogs in the background if you can hear it. Um, we are talking today about celebrating achievements as parents, as Latino fathers, as fathers. Period. Um, I
Okay.
guess one of the main or first things that you think about, like when you first have your kid, right? You're happy, obviously, ecstatic, can't wait for certain moments, right? Certain steps to happen. First is I think one of the first achievements is you could say is either walking or talking for a child,
Okay.
right? Um, Whether it's mom, dad, mama, papa, or taking that first step, first couple steps, we always celebrate it.
Yeah.
And by celebration, I don't mean throwing a huge party for them. It's just simple applause, smiles. You did it. Good job.
Some
Type of
acknowledgement.
thing, right? Acknowledgement, correct. So with that, I was actually reading. I got some feedback from some people and some other podcasts on what is it that we can do, obviously, to better acknowledge our topics. Is look at some sort of research of what impact does that acknowledgement have on a child, starting from shit, maybe the first time they latch on mom's boob, right, for feeding time. As silly or as funny you might think it is, it's sometimes it's very difficult for some parents for that to happen, right? And that's a huge part because obviously the baby has to eat, right? Um, Again, to the first words, to their first steps is that acknowledgement, and even at that young age, some people might say, "Oh, well, they don't know anything yet. They can barely see you for whatever it is." Um, Acknowledgement goes very, very, very far. A child that is regularly acknowledged, or that they see that you're seeing their achievements, uh, can go to great heights, right? Because their self esteem is all there, right? What happened? What happens, or what happened to a lot of us growing up? Many of us didn't hear "I love you." Many of us didn't hear "You did it. Good job. I'm happy for you." Or even when we did fail, many of us didn't hear "Hey, you'll get them next time." Right? We would hear negative stuff like La cagaste. What the fuck? All this work for nothing. Para qué pongo dinero si ni vas a ganar?
Tanta
We start,
práctica para que nada más.
exactly. And what happens to that kid?
Yeah.
You know, that kid grows up with a lot of
Self doubt.
very low self esteem, self doubt, and that can go very very far to not wanting to do any extracurricular stuff after school, not wanting to join any clubs, not having any friends, not being very social,
Yeah.
you know.
It's kind of like you. I'm sure you've seen the videos of like the soccer players that they're about to score. They're right in front of the goal and they're about to miss, and they pause the video and it goes and it talks about this Argentinian guy talking about Boca, but he goes, practican todos los días, tienen botines de los más buenos,
Piden
concentrados,
en un country,
les dan de comer de lo mejor,
tienen
descansan, vienen
calzoncillos
en
donde no
karma.
les raspa las bolas. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I get it 100%. And to touch on what you were saying earlier, yeah, obviously when I was younger, I feel like we did a lot of things, and I don't want to say my dad never encouraged me, never taught me lessons, never acknowledged that I did something. Specifically, I don't remember him ever saying till this day that he's proud of me. He said he's given me like the no, pues está bien, síguele, ahí vas. You know,
That's not what we want.
that's not what I'm wanting to hear.
That's not what we want.
I've even asked him, "Hey, are you proud of me?" And he can't say it. I don't know. No sé, güey. Está cabrón. But yeah, man. Celebrating achievements is definitely goes a long
Let
way.
me let me ask you this: with you again, not necessarily not that he never did it, maybe, but you don't remember it. At least in your mind, it never happened, right?
Yeah.
How does it make you feel? Because you're about to start those little levels, those little areas of Emmy going to school and receiving awards for teachers helper or perfect
Yeah.
attendance, whatever little achievements here and there. How are you planning to change that with your kids? Do you feel that you because you don't know it, you can't say it, or do you feel like it's natural for you?
For me, it's like I think it kind of comes natural to me. Um because as the older brother, I feel like sometimes I did a lot of those things to my younger siblings because I wasn't getting it, so I wanted to make sure that they got it right. Um, at least I feel like it. If Julio might be on here, be like, "You never said nothing. You never
He,
encouraged me."
well, I think he's on.
You know. Um, and so
No,
when
he's
the
not.
when the
Yeah.
when the kids do something, we clap. Right now they're little, right? They're están chiquitos, they clap.
But still,
My
it
son,
encourages him.
yeah, my
It
son was
encourages,
building
even
a
if he does a flip and you
Simon.
fucking, oh yeah, you did it. Oh shit, now I could do it again and
Yeah,
again, again and again and again.
yeah.
And
My
that's for
son
some.
built a tower of some Legos today. Like I opened a new box and the little circles on top are smaller. They're not the big fat ones, right? And so I was like, I bet let's see how he does. Dude, he was stacking them up good. I was like, damn. And he goes, oh, like he lifted up a little tower that he made, right? Oh, and I was like, oh man, what did you make? Y ya sepa que me dijo, ya sabes, he's
Yeah.
like he's two, he can't even talk, and and so yeah, man, like it's exciting to be able to tell him that, um, and yeah, obviously right now they're at the age you kind of want to celebrate everything, But I did, and it's funny you were here. I was thinking about a video that I saw about specifically this topic, and I don't know if you sent it to me or not. But essentially, what it is saying is giving our kids praise is great, right? You want to celebrate their wins. You want to celebrate when they're doing something, um, but not always telling them good job, great. For example, if my daughter, right, gives me, Dad, look what I drew. Look, wow, right?
Yeah.
Do you like it? What is it? I would say something like, well, what do you think? Right? So instead of me directly giving her the feedback or saying good job, saying this or that, is throwing it back on her and saying, well, what do you think? How do you like it? What do you think? How do you think you did? Right?
Yeah.
And what essentially that is doing is it's essentially throwing it back on them to kind of do a little bit of self reflection and say, you know what, I liked it, and I think I did a good job. But it's coming from them. It's not coming from an outside source. So essentially, what's happening is you're teaching them to be able to be critical of themselves and be able to have the confidence and say, "I did a good job," or, "You know what? Nah, this wasn't that good. It was all right, but I didn't like
Well,
it."
also not having to rely on other people for their own self esteem.
Yeah, not looking for that outside approval of things,
Right.
right? So
Even though, bro, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this little nugget in life. So far, of my 13 years of being a parent, I can tell you that that doesn't go away. The approval of them doing things right or wrong. I don't know if you saw it when you went to go see Adrian's game, but every time he either did a shot or a play, what did he do? He always turned around to me,
yeah,
and not necessarily his mom because his mom was there too, but to me, And I've decided to not be so critical of his game because I know that that also affects him too. Because either I push him too much or don't push him enough. I rather be quiet, analyze, and later on, hey, like you said, what do you think you did right, and what do you think you did wrong, and where can we improve, right? So again, self criticizing himself, so that he can see, okay, it's not just other people seeing what I'm doing, but myself. You
yeah.
know, I'm aware that I'm doing great, or I'm aware that I'm not doing great, and how can I be great even if I'm not or I am. You know.
Yes, and to add, because I mean, there's so many nuggets we can talk about here, right? Um, but I think I don't want to take away from the parts where us as dads say things like, you know, we practiced a lot. What went wrong? What the hell, right? There's gonna be a little bit of anger or a little bit of confusion. Like, hey,
Well,
you did
that's
well,
where
right?
right. That's where
Yeah,
we
that's
have
what I'm saying.
to ourselves.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I don't want to say don't not necessarily don't scold, but don't take away those coachable moments, but at the same time acknowledge, hey, you know what? Be the oh, fuck. As I'm talking about this, I'm remembering. Yeah,
Well,
we're being the coach, right? Being the coach,
well,
and then being the dad.
let me take a little word out of Freud's dictionary. Let me be the devil's advocate in this. You've seen the documentary on Tiger Woods, right?
Which one?
The only one, the biggest one. It's like two
Probably
or
not.
three
To be honest
parts.
with you, probably I haven't seen it.
Well,
But
I'm pretty
anyway,
sure most people have seen it. His
okay,
Obviously his father was very, very hard on him, right? As far
okay,
as golf goes. Now, just imagine if his dad wasn't the way he was. Would we have a tiger?
It's hard to say.
Right?
I mean, would we? Yes. Would he be the same one? I don't know.
No, no, we would. Well, we would have a tiger, but not a Tiger Woods in golf, right? If what's another one? Um, fuck. If Ronaldo CR7 didn't grow up poor, didn't grow up with an alcoholic dad, he didn't grow up with the dad saying, uh, the I love yous and all that, not saying all that, do you think we would have a CR7? You know?
Well, that's sort of like they say the villain story starts here. That's where the background story. That's where each athlete's motivation,
Well,
their
okay, so
story,
that's where I'm going. That's where
their
I'm going. Where the motivation is, right?
yeah.
So, how far can we go as parents to where it's coaching, motivation, or some people may call it abuse? You know,
Yeah.
us living through our kids, basically.
Yeah. Well, I think I mean the thing is I think there's levels to it, right? Like my dad was rough on me playing soccer. I mean, shit. I remember I remember I remember kicking tires, bro. Like I need you to kick. You need to toughen up. Kick some tires, dude. I used to kick tires at home. Do my homework, and then for like 20 minutes, I used to go kick a tire. Um, and then when I got older, I started getting better. Obviously, whatever. And then I started getting, I started playing in college. And then he would hit me with, you know, quiero que agarres el fútbol como un hobby. After beating me up with it, for years and coaching me up and getting
It's
me all
because you
into it.
finally figured that you suck, bro.
Probably 100%, bro. I didn't develop as a player until I got to college, so I completely understand the comments now.
It's just
Era malito, güey. Era malito,
some
pero es que era el pinche tronco, güey, afuera. No, no me pasaban, güey, pero no tenía toque, güey,
it's,
pero no me pasaban.
hey, bro. The thing is that in 18, regardless of what sport, not everybody has to be 100%, or not everybody has to be the crack. There's
Yeah,
got to be, like you said, el tronco that nobody gets by. I might not fucking score. I might not run as fast as everybody else. Hey, but nobody could fucking pass me up. You know?
yeah. Yeah, and so yeah, I don't want to say like at the same like obviously we're talking about being able to acknowledge and
Hey, hold on,
celebrate our kids and stuff.
hold on.
Espérate, 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 espérate.
Hold on.
Espérate,
How does he know how
espérate.
good you were in high school when he's like 10 years older than you?
He used to coach.
Oh, okay.
He used to coach. He used to coach. It's just
My bad. I thought he went to school with you. I was like,
no.
oh, man, that was un burro.
No, but yeah, nah, you made me lose my train of thought. Wait, este, like I just don't want to take away from the coaching that aspect
Yeah,
of if you're coaching, if you're telling me you want to teach those lessons, you want to be to a certain point rough and not rough but like tough and stern and be able to deliver the message of like hard work is gonna
yeah,
equate to success, right? Like you
yeah.
don't want to let that message escape because I think that's very important, especially with the way that we did sports.
Not
it's
only
it,
that,
it, it helps build character.
it's a life lesson. It's a life
Yeah,
lesson. It's not just for sports. It's for everything else. I mean, shit. We start. You know how it is. Fucking you start after high school with your little jobs here and there, and maybe they're not as serious. But once you start, like for example, you and I know the corporate world. It's fuck. It's a bitch, bro.
yeah,
It's a bitch, and nobody fucking cares about you. Nobody fucking cares. All they cares is about the money part.
yeah,
Yeah, the money. And if you're not there to produce, there's plenty of people in line to produce. And that goes with absolutely anything and everything.
mm-hmm.
You
Like
know, sports, life.
segregate is fine, but that's not where you shouldn't be happy with it, right? You shouldn't be
Yeah,
complacent with it. Yeah, you know what? You did second, good job. You did better than a lot of the people, but what do you need to do to be number one? I guess is the way that we're thinking, right? Especially if that's the way that we kind of grew up. Um, on that, I went to go golf with Julio a couple weeks ago, and as I was mentioning to you earlier, there was a kids tournament going on before us,
yeah,
and we ended up finishing like we were they put us at the end of the line. So when the kids tournament ended, we finished. So
yeah.
as we were kind of gathering our stuff to leave, they went over the awards. All these kids, dude, it's crazy. Like you see these kids from afar, like damn, dude, they hit better than me.
Simone.
But they give the awards, and the little girl that won was like in sweats, con su papá, little like tie dye shirt. She was having fun. She was out there having fun, and she won. Right, the girl that got second place, uh, she was like
Decked out.
Nike shirt, Nike skirt, the shoes matching, the socks, the chingones, the little visor. I'm talking about those. Estaba, like she looked pro,
Yeah,
and she's the one that got second. And eso que vimos, her dad, bro, ripped her a new one. I'm guessing Korean. I don't know. I don't I'm not one to know the language, but I'm guessing Korean. But he was just telling her like I if I could see the way he was talking, like I can understand. He must have been saying something like all that practice we did and all that thing so that you can come and perform like this, right? The little girl was kind of just holding her medal. She like I was like, damn, dude, fuck. I was like, bro, espérate aquí en el carro, güey. Like, damn, bro, like,
yeah.
she just lost, right? She probably just lost it on that last hole, and you're gonna rip her a new one. And I was like, damn, bro, that sucks. It sucks. I get it, but it sucks, right? And I just think when and if I get to that point, I wouldn't. Well, that's what I'm saying now, right? I wouldn't rip her in public like that, especially if she got second place.
Yeah.
I would. I, I just I don't know if I would rip her up. I would probably. I would probably coach her like we practiced a lot on this. I do want her to know like yeah you messed up, but there's a lesson right here, right?
But
You
we
know what I
also
mean?
got
You break them down a bit, but you have to build them
yeah,
back up.
yeah, of
You know?
course. I was telling Adrian in his first loss, right? He took it pretty bad. He took it hard because and I like the way that he acted out. I like the way that he expressed himself because I could tell that the game meant a lot to him. That game meant a lot to him. His performance meant a lot to him, and I know that he gave it his all.
Yeah,
Right? And I know he was pissed because I know my kid. I know my son.
of
I
course.
know when he's upset. I know when he's not. When he's upset, he doesn't like to talk. He just say he tells me that I don't want to hear it right now. I don't want to hear it, and I'd rather hear that than me yapping and yapping and yapping, and it goes in one ear and out the other, right? But like I'm talking to him, and at first, yeah, I was gonna start talking shit, like the normal coach. But then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put him down lower than what he is right now. What good is that gonna do? What? The last thing I want him to do is get discouraged and say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. That I quit, right? Because the first thing we don't want to create quitters, right? We don't want to raise quitters. I know there's a time and a place where we do have to say no to certain things. Obviously, if they're not good for us,
Yeah,
and something like this, we don't want to raise children that they can know that then anytime they feel uncomfortable, they can just quit, and that's not the point, right?
yeah,
The point is for them to I think the point for child sports is for them to learn the aspects of team winning as a team or even losing as a team. And if you are that team leader, learn how to pick up your other players. Or you being a team leader of your family, as a father, pick them up, learn how to pick them up. Hey, you know what? This is only one game. We still got the rest of the season. Let me ask you this: Do you feel like you did good in this game? Do you feel like you gave it all you had in this game? Yes, I did. All right, then that's all we can do,
Yeah.
right? You gave it your part. You did your part. You scored your points. It's not a one man team. You know, this is not a soccer. This is not a boxing match or a wrestling match where it's just up to you. It's, you have teammates and everybody has to deliver. You delivered your part. That's all we can do. We can only be responsible for ourselves. But we need to learn. Now you know where your weaknesses are. Now you know where the weaknesses are of your fellow teammates. And if you want them to do better, then speak up. Open your mouth. Say something. You know,
Yeah.
make it a lesson instead of, like you said, ripping them a new one. And then the next game, what that I don't want to do this anymore. And it's not I don't want to do this anymore because I don't like the sport. It's because I don't like the way you act after I lose.
Exactly.
So then in that situation, like, what's the problem? Who's the problem? Or what's the problem, right? And that's one of the things that I saw myself, that I was getting too engaged into his games, yelling at him, jump, run, do this, do that. And I had to reflect to myself and, you know what, step back a little bit, give him space. Let's see how he acts on his own. Let's see how he plays on his own without me, without him having to hear me in his ear the whole time. Hey, go do this, go do that, do this, play better, do this, run, or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, he played better. But then he also said that I need you on my on the side, you know.
On that note, I ended up doing a little bit of research and see if there was any studies done just to, we're talking a lot about opinions, right? Opinions from our self experience, from our self whatever. We always talk about ourselves and bring that into the conversations. But what we're saying and what we're talking about actually has a lot of root. It comes from a place that is scientific and it
Of
actually
course.
makes sense, right? So I,
Hmm.
I found an article on the National Library of Medicine, um, and it's essentially a study that was done over the last 30 years. Actually ended in January of 2021. But it
Hmm.
was a 30-year study on the long-term effects of father involvement in childhood on their son's physiological stress regulation system in adulthood. So essentially, what they were saying is they were trying to test out and do research on the effect of how our kids deal with stress as they get older, if and when their fathers are involved. And they found that having a father involved essentially has helped lower the people, the boys, because this was done specifically with sons that had father involvement when they were younger, seemed to have lower levels of cortisol, meaning they were stressed a little bit less. They tend to drink less, get less into substance. So they were able to deal with stress in a better way, in a more positive way, which is crazy, right? It's crazy. It's not something that we're just saying. It was a study that was done, man. It was in Atlanta. They did it with a bunch of people, and if you think about it, man, like the more that a father is involved, I know we're talking about specifically, celebrating achievements, but the more that a father is involved in the childhood, like it helps with their development. And not even that, like I'm thinking about like the way that I am for the most part, kind of the cool and collected one in the relationship at home. Shit hits the fan. I'm not like a chicken running around with my head cut off, right?
Yeah.
I kind of assess the situation and find out, like, damn, all right, we got to do this, we got to do that. I'm not going to like it, but we got to do this, we got to do that, right? And it goes hand in hand with the activities I did with my dad. I worked with my dad. You know, he was my coach. I played soccer. He was very involved in on the back end on a lot of things that we did. He was always trying to teach us lessons, right? And I think that paid dividends in the end because and again, this is only specifically for dealing with stress. Um, it did help with some aspects. And I'm saying some aspects because obviously everybody's different, and life changes and people learn different lessons as they get older. But through the first 30 years of life, like yeah, it's a little bit of a trip. I mean, I don't know how about you. How do you feel you deal with stress? And anybody out there too, how do you guys deal with stress? How do you think that your father's involvement has maybe helped or shaped that? Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's a valid question.
I've never related stress with my parents. Um, I don't know whether it's a good thing or not. There's some things that my siblings and I agree on that we should have known about our parents.
Yeah,
But there's a lot of things that my parents didn't share with us, maybe for that same reason, you know, to not put that stress upon us. But then again, I also learned very early. I was given, uh, at least at a young age, I was given pretty big responsibilities as far as for being a kid. You know,
yeah.
um, I don't know if that was able to teach me how to handle stress. I mean, ever since I was young, I've always been given the duties of like the one in charge. You know.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was just talking to my niece today. I picked her up today from school, and we're talking about in our first jobs and this and that. And I was telling her that I'm pretty much in every job that I've had. I've always had I've always been put as the responsible one, right? As the one, whether it's a shift lead, supervisor, assistant manager, or even a manager, right? And I think because of the way I am, people have thrown responsibility at me where I just had to deal with that stress because I had no choice, you know?
But do you think a part of the way you
Well,
are is
again,
because of the way
because
you grew up
in
and
the
the way that your
beginning,
dad
in the
showed you
beginning,
things?
yeah, my parents, both of my parents, because they always did everything in conjunction, they always put responsibilities upon me that you probably wouldn't do to your kids, that I probably wouldn't do with my kids, you know, depending on the situation.
Hmm.
And I've taken that pretty personal from this day, you know, to this day. Um, as far as those type of responsibilities.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. And I guess after reading a little bit, and it's a long ass article and study that was done. So I kind of read the cliff notes on it, but everything kind of seemed to put in there the effects, right? The long term effects, and I figured that with what we're talking about today, it kind of made sense, right? Like
But it's not always the right thing though, because it does have, I think, negative effects.
what?
As far as not having that stress,
What do you mean? What do you
or
mean not
not
having stress?
having, no, or having less stressors in life because your father is there, or you're having a father
Oh
figure.
no 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 no! That's not what it said. That's not what it
No,
said.
no, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, no, no. The study didn't say that you have less stressors when your parents are. No, no. The study is saying that as you get older, because of the parental involvement you had at a young age, you develop the ability to
Yeah, deal with.
to deal with stress better.
Right.
Doesn't say that you get less stressors. No, no, no. It's just saying because of that, your body develops physiologically, your body doesn't create more cortisol, so you don't get so stressed.
Yeah.
So because of the way that you kind of the parental involvement.
I mean,
So
I feel I can deal with stress better than most people.
yeah,
I try not to show it as much. One is somebody else's issue,
yeah,
but two, it's I think with me, it's more of a like I see it as like a competition. You know what I mean?
yeah,
As like you're not gonna fucking get me uh, because of this issue. Let's find a way to solve it. Right? There's
yeah,
there's a solution for everything. There really is a solution for everything. Obviously, except for death. But it's one of those things where you really have to sit down, and analyze, and overanalyze, and analyze, and analyze, and find a way to get out, to get in, to solve whatever it is that it is stressing you. And again, I think by having that early example of stress in life helped me develop how to overcome it. At a I don't know better pace than anybody else. You
yeah.
want to put it that way?
The way I wanted to tie it back to what we were talking about, celebrating achievements, right? Is if you think about like how we coach, how we encourage, how we talk to our kids while they're, I mean, for lack of better, comparison, in a stressful situation while they're playing sports, right?
Right.
They need to make a basket to win. They're on defense, so they can't let a team score. Whatever it might be. They're in a stressful situation, and
Yeah.
the way that we as fathers, and I'm only speaking about fathers because this is a fatherhood page. Moms they do a good job of whatever they do it at whatever time they do it. But right now, specifically for dads, the way that we approach those situations with our kids will pay dividends because you know being able to kind of walk them through what happened in the situation, being able to kind of talk to them, coach them through it, and let them know, no, you know what? Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a big mistake. You should not have done that. That was the wrong thing to do, and it cost you guys a game. But guess what? Now the next time that happens, you're not gonna do it, and now you're gonna know what to do, and it's gonna put you in a better place. And hopefully next time it clicks, they don't do it, they correct it, and then you come back and you celebrate that win, right?
Yeah.
You celebrate the win, and guess what? The kid's not going to be as stressed about a certain situation as much anymore because they kind of got coached through it and you were involved to help them out with it. So, so I think at least the way that I interpret the study and interpret the way things are going, I think that's probably one of the best ways that we can kind of tie it back and see that us being involved and us celebrating achievements isn't just good because we're saying it. It's good because hey, in the long term, these kids are going to benefit just in general. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, you know, I'm probably going off the deep end here, but like I feel like I've noticed the kids are anxious. Oh, I'm anxious. I'm anxious. I don't know if that has any correlation with stress.
What do you
Uh,
mean with anxious? Like how?
like a situation happens and they have like a panic attack or they kind of freak out a little bit like yeah, I don't know what to do. I again, I'm not a doctor, I can't tell you specifically on it, but I find the correlation of like, well, if there was a better way for you to deal with your stress and situations that stress you out, maybe you'd be able to better handle these situations.
Yeah.
Digo yo. So since we're talking about stressful situations, we got a question from a viewer on YouTube.
Okay.
Anthony Roberts says, "Should parents allow their kids to play COD, Call of Duty.
Mm.
Oh man. Which, by the way, on
Well,
another study,
let
hold
me
on,
reverse it.
before you go there, before you go there, hold on, before you go there. On another study, Call of Duty was the third most stressful game in video games. It was the third most stressful.
Well,
So,
bro, I think the way that these kids react over a video game, they're all stressful. They're all stressful because it's nothing compared to how we used to play. You know, um,
bro, you tell me
uh,
Mario and Mega Man
there-
weren't stressful?
nah, it wasn't stressful, bro.
What?
Yo, I never threw the remote.
There was no save button.
Yeah, but I never threw the remote, bro, and I never threw a tantrum or anything like that, or fucking broken a TV. Shit, that's the only TV we had.
Oh, true.
What are you
Yeah.
talking
But
about?
plus, it's different. Man. They were hard. They were hard before.
The
It was
games, hell yeah.
no
Most of the
the
games,
no, but like TV way, it was hard. It was
but still,
glass.
but
Boy.
most of the games we didn't even pass back in the day.
Yeah,
You know?
I used to skip on Mario. I used to go across go to
You're
level
talking about
3.
games that had 100 plus levels. You know.
um,
Let me reverse the question. What age? What age are you talking about?
what
To
age?
Anthony Robert.
So Anthony Robert at what age? What age are you talking? I think his son is about 6. No, 5. 5 or
Yeah,
6. 5 or
that's
6. Yeah,
kind of
5 or
young,
6.
bro. The only reason I say it's kind of young because especially if they're playing online, then they're gonna be hearing a lot of foul language, bro. A lot of foul language, and I found out that the hard way, and I had to take it away from my son. You know, or take the inner. I wouldn't allow him to play online. Only with like his immediate friends from school or with me. But it wasn't even Call of Duty. It was Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah, Fortnite. So he doesn't play Fortnite anymore?
Oh, he does. He does. But right now he's kind of like you saw. Right now, basketball is his everything. So he plays
Simon.
that 2K NBA 2K. So that's literally all he plays or watches basketball film left and right, whatever games are on.
Yeah.
Every once in a while he'll jump on Fortnite, but COD he wasn't. And again, he wasn't really even a big fan of COD either. He
I
played it just because it was there and that's what his friends were playing.
yeah.
But as far as like Die Hard to spend money on COD, no, not really.
I mean, well, it's not made for kids, bro. It's made for more
Like
grown.
the other games, like the World War II one, he passed. Like the other Call of Duties, he passed them all.
Yeah.
Like he played the stories, you know. He played the
Halo.
stories. He played the stories. Yeah, he won't play Halo, bro.
No, Halo is something else,
I'm
man.
sorry, but we are very against Microsoft, sir.
Ah.
I'm sorry. And he caught it too, bro. He will not touch an Xbox.
Xbox is about to break gaming consoles next year, supposedly.
Yeah, that's what they've been saying every freaking console.
They do.
Yeah. Put it this way. Now those Xbox games you're gonna be able to play it on PlayStation now. So that gives you that.
That's good.
No more exclusivity for you guys.
That means more money for
That's all you guys
Microsoft.
had. That's all that Microsoft had. Exclusivity, and then it all in the shits.
Eh, it's not that bad. But any questions out there, guys? Any other questions? Thank you, Anthony Robert, for your question. It's greatly appreciated. Uh,
Let
out
me
there,
ask you. Hold on, Freud. You have a little one, two little ones. At what age are you gonna let them play video games?
whenever they show interest, honestly.
Because I mean, I'm pretty sure they see you playing.
No, I don't play with when they're. Every now and then I'll be playing, and my daughter wants to like she does. Let's say she doesn't want to take a nap, then maybe I'll let her watch our iPad while I play for a little bit because I'm like I need a break, like you know. But I typically don't play when they're up or whatever. Uh, uh,
That will change.
my son, no, it's just again, kind of going back to
Do
what we
the
talked
do
about
the,
last time.
do the tablets have video games?
No,
No
no,
type of video game whatsoever.
uh.
Not even like freaking like a whack a mole type thing.
Nope. The
Okay.
Emilia's we bought her a tablet and and we put well I put like ABC mouse on there. So there's like games but it's like educational games, right? It's not like the other games, right? So she'll play for like 30 minutes and she's like, "Ah, I'm done. I don't play this anymore," right? Which is fine, yeah. But that's the only thing she has. I don't,
That's what happened with Adrian.
you know.
He's like, I don't want this too easy.
Yeah, and so the good thing about it is it kind of keeps them I don't know,
Occupied.
it does drive, it keeps her occupied, but she's learning at the same time, so it's not bad. But here's a question: how long should you keep a kid into a sport slash hobby before you let them quit and try something else? This is a great question, Paul, and I think we actually talked about this not too long ago.
So
Um,
I don't want to use the word quit. The same thing I told my son. I'm gonna be on the same train. I'm gonna be on the same boat. I'm gonna be on the same bus with you as long as you want to,
yeah,
right? Whenever he tells me, Dad, I don't want to play anymore, obviously we're gonna have a talk. We're gonna make sure, hey, is this what you want? Just remember, just because you are leaving the sport does not mean that your grades at school are gonna lower, and it does not mean that you're not gonna be a part of anything in school,
yeah,
right? Because obviously, whatever school is number one priority. Sports is second,
yeah,
right? And obviously, whatever chores and educational stuff at home, then that's gonna come naturally. But I think, and at least in my part, and what I've told Adrian is until until he wants to, until he's ready.
yeah,
But he has to realize that once we pass a certain point, then it's already going to become more than just I want to play. It's an investment, and not an investment for me, but an investment to for him, and for his future if he wants to take it that way.
yeah, and I'll take a
Oh, okay.
different direction on the answer there. But the
Okay.
way that I would answer that, Paul, is I would essentially say is if we start something, we're gonna finish it. So let's say you want to play and kind of going off of what you're saying. If we decide, hey, you know what, we want to try karate. To use your example, if we're gonna try karate, perfect. All right. So before we start, this is a 6 week, this is a 12 week session program. So we got to commit for 12 weeks. So if you're ready to do that, then let's do it. Now, you didn't like it after the first practice, man. Well, it's we're gonna have to give it another chance because we signed up for 12 weeks. After 12 weeks, guess what? If you still don't like it, then we can stop, and I'm not gonna force you to go. But we started something, then we need to try our best to finish it. Now, if we can't do it because I don't know. It's just it's not for you. You physically you're not able to do it, or it's something that's becoming stressful, or it's just
A
counterintuitive. Then
chore, a
obviously,
chore.
yeah. If it's just something that you're not even putting an effort into it, and you're just kind of
Yeah.
going through the motions, then maybe we have a conversation and we are all right. Then we stop. But the next thing that you choose is gonna be like, okay, you want to do something else? That's great, but keep in mind that we're gonna commit to X amount of time before you say you don't want to do it anymore, right?
So
And
I have a good example with that one. Adrian, I don't know if you remember, he did do karate. That was the first thing he did. and no lie, bro, he wasn't any good. He wasn't any good at all. When they said karate, like hayat to the right side, he would say hayat to the left side. You know.
Yeah.
But we finished. He finished the whole. He finished the first, I guess, semester of it, if you want to call it. He did the first tryout, did everything. Once that was complete, and we realized it, and we saw that he didn't like it and he wasn't enjoying it, that we asked him, Mijo, do you want to do it again? We'll sign you up again. Remember, the coach is cool with you. He's the coach was the sensei was one of the helpers at his school, so he knew him. He knew him pretty well, and he's there. But no, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, are you sure? Remember, this karate, like the movies, like the
Like the movies.
like the Ninja Turtles and blah 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 and this and that, right? You got to find something that's going to motivate them. No, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Every time we would go towards the end, every time we would go to practice, it was okay during time for karate. I don't want to go to karate. It was always a drag, right? So it became a drag. It became a chore for him, and it became a chore for us. But we pretty much made him finish. We explained to him that we don't quit. We finished, like you said, we finish where we start, and then we assess the situation whether he likes it or not. He
Yeah.
didn't, so then we didn't continue. Now, a few months later, he was in a different grade, and he saw that a lot of his friends were joining baseball, were joining football.
Yeah.
Oh, he brought in the paper from school. Oh, my friends are joining. Can I play with them? Oh well, let's talk to mom. Let's look into it and see what it takes. So that's when he started. Started with baseball, and I think you went to one of these games too. Then football, then baseball again, then baseball again, and then he did basketball, then basketball again, and then COVID, and then obviously now basketball again. But it took several sports to find a sport that that this is what I really want to do.
Yeah.
It took a couple. I mean, he tried them all. Up to now, I hear he told me we will talk, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, you remember when I used to play baseball and football?" I said, "Yeah." He said, just to tell you the truth, I had no idea what I was doing. He said, but I was out there doing it. I go, well, that's all it takes. I go, did you have fun? Yeah, but I didn't know what I was doing. Okay,
That's how
well,
you learn.
yeah, you were doing something to stay in shape, stay active, stay out of the video games. Part of it, part of it, why he was upset in the beginning with karate, bro, is because he was taking time from his video games. You know,
Yeah.
so that's what he didn't like, and we noticed it. So that's why we didn't let him quit. We waited till the end of it. It was like a month and a half, you know.
Yeah, they're usually
Uh,
not super long sessions. Yeah.
and yeah, he waited. He understood that when we start, we finish, and we don't quit. We're not quitters. We're not quitters. We're not quitters. Okay, daddy. Okay, daddy. So I think the way you said it is it's we start something, we finish it, we analyze it. If we don't like it, then we continue.
Yeah. And I
There's
think at
always
the
gonna be
same
something.
time, yeah, and I think with that, and to you, Chris, and to you, Paul, out there, is where you're trying to teach, commitment, right? If you're
Yeah,
committing to something, if you're saying, "Hey, I'm gonna try this," and not only are they committing to you as the parents, but you're also committing to instructors, to teachers, to a program, to the people that are putting in the time to be able to teach and coach and do whatever. Like those are people that are putting in the time, and you're making a commitment to them that you were going to show up for X amount of time. So it's not just something that you're signing up for yourself. You're making a commitment to everybody. And so a lot of people are expecting you to do things, and you have to follow through on what you said you wanted to do. So
yeah.
I think that's kind of the lesson that we went on, off of that.
It
Um,
works. It works, man. It works. Just I think it takes us to have a clear mind and understand exactly what we're trying to do with these kids and how it's going to affect their future, because also their future is going to affect us. We also want to make sure that we create a an adult, a human being that's going to be useful to the society, and not just be whatever person.
Yeah.
Make sure that they do something with themselves, and if it takes them to be the next mayor of whatever city they live in, a coach of the community, because coaches are needed all the time, bro. All the time. A lot of us take coaching as a whatever thing, but I think coaching for our kids, for anybody's kids, it's a very important thing to do in life.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all those good men and women that donate their time to coach, because it takes a lot of kids off the streets. It takes a lot of kids. It teaches a lot of kids responsibility. Teaches them how to win, how to lose. It teaches
Yeah.
them how to be active. It teaches them how to take responsibility. All that.
Yeah.
So coaching I think, is very important uh, to do in life. And my hat's off to all the coaches out there, because it's a lot of time to invest on other kids other than yours.
Yeah. Yep. I was ready to coach this year for Emilia, and Vero's like, no, no. She's like, not yet. I was like, all right, all right, all right. She
No, I
wants
think
she wants me to coach her when she gets older, but not right now. I was like, all right, whatever, that's fine. So
I think if anything, if she sees, like, take it to a real game,
hmm
like a soccer, like a high school game, or even a weekend game, of a cousin or something that plays, and let them see the commotion, and that's when
yeah.
they start getting involved. Oh, I want to
Oh well,
do that.
she saw Cesar. She saw my nephew play, and that's why she got into it, and then she liked it. She even kicks the balls in the back, and she wants to play. So she wants to play. So we're waiting for the next season to come up, and then we're gonna put her back in because she quiere jugar. Right now she's doing dance, so she's doing hula and hip hop. So that's her thing right
Yeah,
now.
there
So
you go.
so she's doing that, and she looks forward to it, which make things easier, right? And so I think that's one of the things that's kind of like
It gets them
we
tired.
yeah, well, not even just gets them tired, but like it doesn't become like I don't want to go to this. I don't want to go. Like you're not fighting them to go to an activity that they're signed up for. We've been lucky where we've been kind of hitting the activities kind of spot on the things that she likes. So
Yeah.
nos está yendo bien. We'll see in another year or two, and once Vidal gets older, I'm sure he's gonna want to do things too. So I think that's when it'll really start getting wild.
The crazy thing is when you have to split up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Uno
That's
con
when it'll
uno
really
y
get
otro
wild.
con otro.
And it is what it is. I mean, right now we kind of do it now, like where I just stay home with Vidal and she goes to dance, or
Yeah.
Vero will stay home and I go with Emmy to dance. Like we just split it
Yeah.
up, and it's fine. It's like whatever. It makes it easier. So
Yeah, not only that, sometimes you can even use it as a family. Hey, let's go watch your sister dance, or she's gonna perform tonight, or blah blah blah, this and that.
yeah,
Like Adrian also, he does band at school, so he'll have concerts and almost those, that'll perform. Even though he doesn't see us, but we see him.
yeah,
So it's cool stuff, bro. It's obviously creating memories for us, and actually, and we're creating better human beings as well.
yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, that's the
The
goal,
goal.
is to create better people, so that when it's their chance, then they create better people as well.
Yeah,
That's how we break these cycles of. Oh, my dad never told me. Shit, I never stopped telling my kids I love you. They're probably tired of me telling them how much I love them. So
yeah. Pues sí.
I hear that, then my dad never told me I love you, and we're fucking 55 years old.
Yeah, and then he'll rip you a new one. But yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much it for today, bro.
yeah. But
What
hey,
you got?
good. That was a good one though. I think we were able to kind of dive a little bit into. Uh, Obviously, we talk about stuff. I'm kind of glad that we decided to actually get some sort of scientific data that we can use and share, because it not only does it just solidify what we're saying, but it's like, hey, like we're not just talking, we're not just talking out of our ass here, right? We're actually talking about
Uh,
something that's real, that we're
we're
experiencing,
educated people.
and we know how to Google. So yeah, but that's all I got, Chris. Anybody out there? I guess big thank you to everybody that joined us today. I know some of my friends were able to join on YouTube. I got Steve and Anthony that were able to kind of join us and engage a little bit. Instagram's always fun. We get a little bit of the heads there. But thank you everybody for joining. Chris, do you have any final thoughts?
And that's it, man. Just keep doing what you're doing, and everybody else, like I said, subscribe, like, comment, all that. We got Spotify, Apple, YouTube, IG, Facebook, TikTok, and Threads. So, on all the above, just like, heart it, comment, subscribe.
Sweet. Hey,
Appreciate everybody.
and then don't forget, guys, we do have TikTok. I know somebody out there mentioned the other day that we should put little shorts on TikTok. There's a bunch of shorts on TikTok.
They're on there. They're on there.
So check them out. Let
Just
us
ask
know.
Steve. I'm always bugging Steve
Cool.
and Manny. But
Dope.
for sure, guys, thank you. See you guys in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, first week of the month. Second
Second,
week. Oh shit, I don't even know
seconds.
anymore.
Second Tuesday of March.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Peace
You guys have a good
out.
night. Hey, wait. Do I
Camp